Smart is about to sleep with his friend's wife on her wedding night, pretending to be the groom. Bhadman arrived home from his wedding reception alongside his best man to continue the celebration privately. During their celebration, they got carried away in a drinking contest, with Bhadman's wife cheering him on as he took the win. Since childhood, they had shared a bond so strong that they promised to be best men at each other's weddings, a promise that has now come true for Bhadman. Some friendships grow so deep that even childhood vows find their way into adulthood. To Bhadman, Smart had grown beyond the bounds of friendship, so he wanted him by his side to share a few special moments before departing for his honeymoon. When Smart heard about Bhadman's plans to get married, he was overcome with mixed emotions, happy for his friend, yet sad at the thought that marriage might steal away the bond they once shared. Sometimes happiness for a friend comes with a quiet fear of losing the place you once held in their heart. As the night drew to a close, Bhadman expressed heartfelt gratitude to his friend for always being there for him, even when he had other important matters to attend to. In that moment, he promised Smart that marriage would never come between their friendship, knowing deep down that his friend feared losing their bond. His heartfelt message to Smart was interrupted by the sound of his phone ringing. Glancing at the screen, he gently asked his wife to excuse him so he could step outside to take the call. His wife rose from his lap, and he stood at once, setting his empty glass on the table. He then told Smart he needed to step out briefly to take an urgent call. As he stepped outside, he answered the call in anger, reminding the caller that he had already warned her never to call him on this particular day. On the other side of the phone is his mistress, who tells him she called to say she's pregnant for him. In anger, he warns her not to call again and ends the call. Filled with anger, he stands outside, searching for a way to untangle himself from the mess he's just stepped into. With Bhadman gone, Smart and his wife talk casually about different things while they wait for his return, not realizing he won't be coming back to join them anytime soon. Growing tired of waiting, his wife goes into the room to rest, leaving Smart alone on the couch. As she leaves, she tells Smart to inform her husband that she's asleep and waiting for him in bed when he returns. Already tired and tipsy from the alcohol and unwilling to be alone, Smart decides to go outside to join his friend. He grabs his glass and the bottle, then slowly stands to head outside, hoping to keep himself occupied with a drink while his friend finished the call. When he steps outside, he notices Bhadman by himself, visibly agitated and speaking to himself. He immediately asks what the problem is, and receiving little response, he staggers outside to get closer to him. As he approaches, Bhadman quickly asks about his wife, and he tells him that she has already gone inside to sleep. He then reminds Smart of the last birthday party they attended together out of state, about 3 weeks ago. At the party, he encountered a woman he was drawn to and immediately engaged in a sexual encounter with her. He then tells Smart that the lady called to inform him she's pregnant with his child. Smart is shocked and disappointed to hear this, unable to believe his friend would sleep with a stranger without using protection. A moment of recklessness can echo far beyond its instant. Not wanting the disappointing news to spoil the celebration, Smart immediately urges Bhadman to lift his spirits and return to the party before his wife finds out. Sometimes protecting others from the truth is its own act of loyalty. To help Bhadman take his mind off the pregnancy news threatening his new marriage, Smart suggests they drink and forget their sorrows for the night. He hands Bhadman a glass, pours him a drink, and encourages him to drink as much as possible to drown his sorrows. Alcohol can numb the pain for a while, but once its grip fades, you realize the problem is still there waiting. Smart urges Bhadman to stay outside and keep himself occupied with the alcohol while he goes in to tell his wife that he won't be returning soon, preventing her from coming outside looking for him. He also urges him not to think about the woman in his absence before heading inside to meet Bhadman's wife. Sometimes protecting the present means guiding someone's thoughts away from the past. Bhadman's wife, already tipsy, has fallen asleep on the bed while waiting for him to return. As she lies asleep, Smart walks in to see her, and her sleeping position immediately ignites desire in him. His original intention was to make an excuse for his friend, but now he finds himself checking whether his friend's wife is in a deep sleep. Sometimes intentions blur, and curiosity treads the line between right and wrong. Within seconds, desire overtakes him as he admires his best friend's wife, slowly reaching to take the glass of drink from her hands. Desire can strike in an instant, blurring the line between admiration and temptation. As he finishes the drink from her glass, he convinces himself that Bhadman won't come in to check on him, thinking his friend is too preoccupied with troubles outside. He leaves the empty glass on the floor and, without considering the consequences, surrenders to lust and desire. Sometimes desire arrives uninvited, a force so consuming that it clouds judgment and silences reason. In those fleeting moments, the mind forgets the boundaries of right and wrong, and the heart becomes a battlefield where temptation reigns supreme, leaving only the raw pull of impulse in its wake. Oblivious to the betrayal happening inside, Bhadman lingers outside, numbing himself with alcohol while waiting for Smart to come back. Unsure why Smart is taking so long to return and already tipsy and tired from the alcohol, he slowly sits on the floor, resting his back while waiting. A night intended for Bhadman's honeymoon has devolved into a night of betrayal and the haunting truths of his secretive life. Three days later, as Bhadman prepares to go out, he's surprised to find Smart at his door. They shake hands, and Bhadman quickly tells Smart he's on his way out for an appointment. Smart, however, insists that he be granted a moment to speak before he leaves. He tells Bhadman that his wife needs to be present for the news he has brought, then moves to take a seat. Bhadman insists on hearing the news himself, but Smart insists his wife be present, prompting Bhadman to call for her to join them before taking a seat. His wife joins them, briefly greets Smart, and then settles onto her husband's lap. Bhadman tells her that Smart arrived unexpectedly and has important information to share, specifically requesting her presence. Upon hearing that Smart has important news and specifically requested her presence, her mind quickly drifts back to thoughts of their honeymoon. On the night of her honeymoon, she woke from sleep believing the man lying next to her is her husband. To her utmost shock that night, the man she believed to be her husband turned out to be Smart, her husband's best friend. In fear and shock at how he ended up in her bed, she immediately woke him and asked if they had slept together, and to her surprise, he confirmed that they had. Smart blamed his actions on alcohol and advised her to keep it a secret if she wanted to save her marriage, believing that Bhadman would trust his side of the story over hers. Some truths are buried not out of shame, but out of fear of what they might destroy. She immediately stops Smart from explaining the reason he came and suggests that she serve them a glass of drink to enjoy the moment of their discussion. She quickly rises from her husband's side and walks into the kitchen to prepare drinks for them. The woman suggested serving them a glass of drink, intending to add a substance to make them sleep while she disposed of the evidence she believes Smart had brought. When panic strikes, even the wisest can be led to drastic measures. Without considering the consequences, she's determined to do whatever it takes to protect her marriage. She picks up the glasses of drink and walks into the sitting room, handing one to Smart. She then goes to her husband, gives him the second glass, and sits on his lap, urging them to drink immediately. Unaware of her intentions, they both empty their glasses and then move on to the reason for Smart's visit, while she makes her way to sit beside her husband. To drink from an open glass is to trust blindly, and sometimes trust can be costly. As Smart begins to reveal the reason for his visit, the substance slowly takes effect, and he starts coughing uncontrollably, with Bhadman soon following suit. When hidden intentions take hold, even the strongest voices can be quickly stifled. As they both cough violently from the effects of the substance, Bhadman's wife panics, realizing their reactions are far different from what she had planned. According to her plan, they were supposed to gradually fall asleep from the substance, not react violently as they were currently doing. Unknown to her, the substance mixed with the drink caused a fatal reaction, resulting in the deaths of both men. Realizing they are both unconscious, she immediately rushes to grab the file from Smart, believing it holds evidence of their encounter. To her surprise, the file contains documents for a land property that Smart had purchased as a special wedding gift for them. Smart wanted her to be present because he had also purchased a store for her to start her business, a plan she shared with him while Bhadman stepped outside to take a call. This is a lesson to everyone. Acts of betrayal, whether in friendship or marriage, can lead to irreversible damage and unforeseen outcomes. Decisions made in haste or under the influence of alcohol can have catastrophic consequences. Trying to hide or manipulate the truth can backfire, often worse than the original problem. Acting out of fear rather than rational thought can escalate situations and cause irreparable harm. Succumbing to desire without consideration of consequences can trigger a chain of destructive events. Please share this video and comment where you are watching from.